we'll start with the basics, and just tell me, if you could tell me a little bit about yourself, introduce yourself, and where you're from.
Well, I'm Maria Gracia Gervasi. I'm originally from Argentina, and I work at UMass Amherst. I have been working at the laboratory of Pablo Visconti for almost about 6 years right now. So I joined the lab with the Layler Foundation fellowship to study the role of TSSK, testis-specific serine kinases, as potential targets for male contraception. So I started in the field of male contraception from the very beginning of my postdoc.
From day one.
Yes, day one.
So did you seek out Pablo's lab specifically, or did you go into the field, into school knowing you wanted to study male contraception? How did you find your way?
Well, I did my PhD in male reproduction in Argentina, in Buenos Aires, at the University of Buenos Aires. And then when I was finishing my PhD, I took the course Frontiers in Reproduction here in Woods Hole, Massachusetts. And there is when I found that I wanted to keep working in sperm and sperm physiology. And I'm genuinely interested in both sides, not just in male contraception, but also in improving fertility.
Yeah.
That is kind of both sides of the same coin, I think.
Right.
And that's how I approached Pablo by email, and I ended up on his lab. He told me all about these projects in TSSK that was going on his lab, and I was very excited. And then it's very great that when you talk to people that everybody is like, wow, we really need a male contraceptive, keep going. So it's very encouraging that. So I've been enjoying a lot working on the field.
It is really fun. I feel like we talk about this a lot too, that so we actually adopted one of the catchphrases we hear all the time, especially from women, which is "it's about time."
Yeah.
So every time we've gone door to door putting posters up for so we're in Durham, North Carolina, and we're having a fundraiser, so we were putting flyers in windows. So we'd walk in and we'd say, "We're having this fundraiser, can we put this flyer up?" And they're like, "Well, what do you do?" And so we'd say male contraception, and all the women, without exception, I think, said, "It's about time."
Yes.
And so I think the men are starting to come around to the idea too, because it's such a leap for them.
Yes, exactly.
Because there's nothing to reference. It's condoms and permanent. So it's a really exciting space to be.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking to me. Like every time that I'm about to give a talk at the conference or presenting my work, I say, "Oh, I want to look for the options that men have versus female." And if you go online and you check, there's so many different drawings that shows like men have different, all kind of male contraceptive available, and male is kind of an empty shelf.
Right.
With spider webs.
Spider webs, yes, I like that.
I always use that one because it's very clear.
Yes. Yeah, and it's when we were just talking about that we had been in Rwanda for the International Conference on Family Planning, and a gentleman walked up to our poster and said, we talked to him a bit, and we're really interested in hearing what people think about, how acceptable male methods would be, and especially in different contexts, different countries. And so I believe this gentleman was from Uganda, and he said, "No, we need this." And he said, "But as much as the gap is an issue to be addressed, it's also a reason that men can use to stay out of the conversation of contraception." It's like, well, I don't have any options, so I guess, sorry, I can't help out. And so hopefully that'll change too.
Yes, hopefully they will be able to contribute in family planning and not just win the female responsibility. So I think that is very, very important for the society in general. Yeah.
So where do you see the field going in the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, hopefully we are going to develop new male contraceptive methods that would allow different people from different backgrounds to have a choice, and hopefully we will see more options in the market for them. I don't know if it's going to be already out in 5 years, because there's a lot of research going on that is very preliminary right now. I would say in the first stages, but today actually we had the NIH talk about grants, and they explained that NIH is even interested in male contraception, which is great. So we have more funding, is going to allow us to invest more and more of our time and hopefully grow more.
So we also spend a lot of our time talking to folks and asking what more MCI could possibly be doing to help the field, because we really, our group has congealed into this huge organization of 3 people.
Yes, it's great.
We've sat down and talked about, so we have our funding mechanisms. That's most of what our money goes straight through to that.
Yes.
But then we have our time beyond that we've all been willing to contribute. Doing these interviews come from our communications and marketing.
Yeah, that's been great. I've been following you guys in Twitter and Instagram, and it's great. I think that it's very helpful, mostly because it's very important to reach out to people that are not in science. They need to know that we are working on this and that we want to solve this gap.
Yeah.
That and develop new technologies, and you support that. So giving information to everybody, not to also people and society, is very important, something that would be great to and I think that you're doing great through different channels of communication. Of course, the money support is great for us, but communication with people that is outside science is very important too, so they know what we are doing and how we are working hard for it.
Well, keep us posted. We're happy to help with any other things we can as well. Give us ideas, like our market research report that we put out. We did that so that, the folks at the bench can focus on the science and the techniques and keep that moving forward. So tangential things like that will help applications and your efforts to seek funding. We're happy to help provide that level of advocacy. So any sort of resources we can either help try and identify funds for, or manage through our own funding. Anything that we do, we put out for you guys to use. So just always let us know if there's anything you need.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.